Yo, I'm back. First time live in a long time. And in the dark. Just where I am right now. I guess I'll wait for a few minutes to see if anybody wants to go live and chill with me. Some things that I want to talk about. Especially, it was cool. I was on Lashid For You's live page earlier today. And I was wondering what happened to her because I didn't see anything from her for a while. And lo and behold, she started showing up in my feeds, so it's cool. Um, I had to look her up again to see what she was up to, and then she started showing up in my feeds, and I caught yesterday. It was really cool because she was talking about like just some funny subject where certain singers that we didn't know were black. I mean, were white. That we thought were black. Or someone like a Tina Marie. Um, I guess because I've seen Tina Marie, but the thing is, Tina Marie is too cool, man. Like, she, oh, who is this? Who is this? What's up, brother Danubian? Haha, yeah, in the house. Yeah, man. I want to talk about some things, some music stuff that y'all probably have been talking on other things. You know what tripped me out? I did not know that Eminem actually dissed Lord Jamar, dude. Like, I had no idea. That's like a no, you can't do that. That dude, Lord Jamar, is too raw, dude, for one. And two, like, I almost anticipate a comeback from Lord Jamar. I hope he does. Not that he has to, he doesn't need to do anything. Lord Jamar's legacy speaks for itself, you know? Eminem shouldn't have done that. He really, I mean, he really, really lost my respect with that one. You don't do that to a legend like that. Lord Jamar has every right to say what he said about basically a lot of whites being in the house of hip hop, like because he knows about like the origins of all that, before anything. A lot of the times it's weird because us that grew up in the 80s, I'm a 70s baby. I guess they call us the Gen Xers or whatever. We grew up with hip hop. I grew up on the West Coast. Some of you guys are on different coast. And out here, sorry, we had I'm just gonna open my car door for a little bit. We had breakdancing. It came late. We had popping. So a lot of that stuff, was more, from what I remember, more electro. The first hip hop song I actually did hear, I was probably around 5, was the Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. What's up, KD84? Ha ha! Yeah, I'm out of freaking YouTube jail from the freaking video. I was on lockdown for 3 months for making fun of that dumb idiot, that troll. That I think he has people working at YouTube. That's why. Anyway, yeah. But I think like for us on the West Coast, definitely it was a lot different. We had our popping and locking out here. I'm actually a popper for you guys that don't know. Up and up now, you out. Yeah, man. Let me see. What was that comment? Oh yeah. Oh wow. So you're late 60s Danubian. I was born in 74. So we're around the same generation then. You know. What coast are you on, man? I'm from LA, like Long Beach. Mid 80s baby, KD84. That's cool. What was that? Oh, trying to see the comments. Right on. Yeah, man. Mid 80s had a lot of interesting things come out, man. Funny thing is, like, I don't know, hip hop for me, like, I kind of have a weird take on it, like, because and even some of my videos I kind of touched on it. I kind of look at hip hop It's new music in a sense. If you guys ever see the video that I did about Jean-Michel Basquiat, I kind of touched on that. But for the West Coast, it was a trip because you had like people that were like my uncle's age. They were all born in the 50s and 60s. They were all like just straight up poppers. Like they taught like the cats that are around my age, was my little cousin who was younger than me. And then I learned from him. And we used to pop to all the electro stuff like the Jones and crew and like Nucleus and all that stuff. You know. Oh man, what was that? New sub? What? Huh? Let me see what. Oh, thanks, KD. Thanks, Danubian. What's new sub, man? Alabama Thorn? What did you mean by that, bro? Yeah, man, KD. Back then, it was weird because we had. I mean, I think like we had like I heard the Rapper's Delight. That was the first thing I heard, and then Curtis Blow. I didn't really know about it as a genre. It was just all music to me. It was the music that I grew up, and definitely a part of the new wave. You had on one side was, I mean, a lot of people would say it was like mostly like white cats, like that were in the new wave, but a lot of cats don't realize how much that hip hop and that new wave stuff, which actually was more like light punk type stuff, was kind of in cahoots with each other in a lot of ways. Oh, 68, yes. 68, man, that was a turbulent year, man. That was a revolutionary year. Oh yeah, man. Thanks, Alabama Thorn. Thanks for subbing to me, man. Welcome to the closet of YouTube audio discourse. I forgot to say that, y'all. But nah, man, I think around 83, 84 is when I started breaking. That's when I discovered breaking, man, and it was dope. Yeah, Alabama, check this. I haven't been live in months, man, because I got a strike. I got a strike for making fun of a white supremacist gamer. And they didn't like that. And it's funny because I used code speech. I didn't even like freaking say the guy's name. I totally distorted his name and mixed it up. I even like, but they saw it, and I guess they were monitoring me like they always monitor our stuff, and they struck me. I'm like, man, really? I wish I was behind the scenes in YouTube and seeing who's all doing this. And I'm sure they're the same people that are putting the thumbs down on like some of our heroes. Like, I did a video on Fred Hampton and saw a thumbs down. I'm like, what the hell, really? You're that butthurt and burnt because our hero stood up for righteousness and you guys killed him for no reason? Oh yeah, NWA. Well, I'll tell you this. This is strange, and a lot of people on the West Coast will say this. Around like, I mean, NWA's been around since like '85, really, but like the classic lineup since like, I'll say Straight Outta Compton, because they had an album before that, NWA and the Posse. But the classic lineup around '86. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong. I know that when did NWA and the Posse came out? I thought that they formed in '85. It was '85, '86. But a lot of things started changing. And actually, Schoolie D was the first gangster rap. People don't realize that. He was doing that stuff before. But Ice-T was the very first stuff that I heard like that out here. You know, the street rap thing kind of started. I mean, that's been around. But Grandmaster Flash was the first thing that I heard like that. It was the message. But Ice-T was hard. And then when NWA came out, man, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that stuff kind of tripped me out because, I'm from the east side of Long Beach. That stuff was happening, dude. Like, where I'm from and in LA, like inner LA, I call it. We're South LA. That inner LA is like South Central, you know. So that stuff, I mean, when I first heard it, it wasn't. I can't say that I was really all about it because it was kind of scary. you know we had out here on the West Coast a radio station called KDAY, KDAY, and my brother and I, who was younger, we were young kids listening to the Mac Attack mix every weekend on Saturday. We tape stuff and then we break dance battle to it throughout the week, man. We battle our whole neighborhood. It was, and here, how old was I? I was like 8 or 9 years old. You know, we're little kids doing this stuff, popping and breaking back in like the early '80s and stuff. We, yeah, '80s was a classic year too. I mean, '88, yeah, '88 was definitely classic. You know, you had Public Enemy, and I mean, that's the group that comes out. You know, for me, like Public Enemy, definitely. '88 was classic year two audio. I was 11 when Rapper's Delight came out. Man, how did you feel like when you first heard that? Like what were you thinking when you first heard that? I'm curious. I was just like, this is fun, man. You know, like I'm a little kid, but I thought it was cool. You know, before I even knew what the term rap was. You know, I'm like probably 5. You know, like on the freeway and it comes on. You know, what did you think, man? Like when you first heard that jam? Oh wow. Let me read the other comments. My favorite trip, my favorite chick back then was Roxanne Shante. Believe it or not, no, Roxanne Shante was no joke, and she still is no joke. It's funny. I heard the real Roxanne, but then I heard Roxanne Shante. It kind of confused me at first. I'm like, well, which Roxanne is which? Because I'm a little kid, like listening to K Day. But Roxanne Shante ripped all of them, man. No one could kill her, dude. She killed every last one that she rhymed against, man. And she had a reputation for that. You know, she's a little bad little kid. You know, like not. I don't think in reality. I still have to see that movie, but just like, you know, badasses and rapping badass. You know. I'm sorry. Let me get to these comments. I'm sorry. I don't want to ignore y'all comments. I really appreciate this. Roxanne Shante is dope. '88 was the bomb. Nothing productive came out of NWA. I got something to say about that. I have some of my opinions about NWA, to be honest. Schoolie D was from Philly. Man, Philly was raw, dude. Alabama said I was born in '72, 2 years before me. You're getting old like me. Yep, I got the grades coming in, man. She quit. Oh, I didn't know she went on. I know she did a bunch of chicks, dude. When she came back out in the '90s, she just strolled out and just started like lashing chicks, man. Roxanne Shante was not joking, dude. And you know who reminds me of her, even though like she doesn't really have to diss anyone? Short-lived Hurricane G. Even though you cannot compare anyone to Roxanne Shante. Sure, Hurricane G is like this Afro Latina. Everyone said that she was Redman's sister, but I don't know if that was true. Um, Let me see. Damn, I can't. Oh, she killed MC Light. Let me say something about NWA. I mean, when I first heard it, yes, it was scary as F. You know, like, I'm trying not to cuss, y'all. Trying to take my cues from Paris Milan. She's really good at not cursing, and it's so cute when she just like says F or like, you know, like pretty much spells it out. I had a crush on Paris until I found out she was married. I'm like, damn. Nice lady though, man. Um, Yo-Yo is dope. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, man. Where I work, dude, Yo-Yo came in, dude. Like, and she still looks the same. I couldn't say anything. One of the guys that I work with was helping her out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's freaking Yo-Yo, dude. Like, yeah, man. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. But I dug Yo-Yo, man. Yo-Yo was gangster, man. She was raw. Step into the '90s, man. Um. Oh yeah, Yo-Yo and Ice Cube, the Bonnie and Clyde thing, man. I got some stuff to say about Cube and his crew. I have a lot, man. First of all, let me get with NWA. NWA definitely was scary for me, at least when I first heard it, because when you hear about things around the neighborhood or you experience people that you know that got, you know, that kind of violence happened to, and then you're seeing police brutality in your neighborhood and have experienced things like cops like disrespecting you and your family in your neighborhood or whatever, there had to be someone talking about that. So as much as I think NWA had a part in some kind of nihilistic type thing in hip hop, I think they were important because they showed a side of America that people were ignoring. And there's some songs that I will never like. The album Ends for Life, I don't like the N word. Great production, but there's some songs that I really had a problem with, that I thought was very. I don't want to sound like some Dolores Tucker or like you know Al Gore's wife. I forgot that Tipper Gore, but I'll say they had that element of misogyny and nihilism and all that stuff. But the thing that's important to me about NWA, they spoke about what was going on out here in Los Angeles, dude. Not just, I mean, I'm sure around everywhere, but it very much hit home for me because I seen some of this stuff, or I've experienced things of some of that nature in a sense, even though I say, yeah, I grew up in a two-parent household. My dad, being a young father, pretty much him and my mom like raised us the best way that they could, and they kept us away from that stuff. But we had people that we knew, like one of my uncle's friends who died like that, and just man, it's hard to even talk about stuff like that, to be honest, because that stuff hurts. And then of course you're seeing the evil that crooked cops. It's funny, you got people, I'm on my social media, cats are talking about oh man, all the social media is making these people act. No, a lot of it's just coming out. I've been an advocate against police brutality since I was very young, man, and even used to go to protests when I got older, because I saw this stuff happen, with my family and stuff like that. Like and I've been harassed myself. So NWA spoke for a lot of us, man. That was my thing about them that I thought was interesting. I'm sorry, let me get to the comments. Sorry, y'all. I was thinking, wow, this was fun. And my mom liked it too. That's so cool. We knew the whole song. Rappers are like, you memorized the whole thing? And the chicken tastes like wood. That's my favorite line in that whole song. And the chicken tastes like wood. Dude, that song is hilarious, man. When he talks about his super sperm. I have to be all immature about, man, who the hell? What the hell are you doing? Turn the damn light off. Sorry, y'all. This is MFer. Okay. Yeah, she is fine, man. That woman is beautiful. I kept low-key hitting on her. And she, of course, didn't respond. Like, who's gonna respond to some crazy-looking, dude with a shaved head and a beard, looking scraggly with a heavy metal t-shirt on. But then I found out that she was married. I didn't know that. I didn't know. And I just, I didn't harass her. I would always compliment her. But yeah, nah, she's cool. I like the contents that she has, man. She's really thorough too. You should check out that video. I don't know if you guys saw it about, I didn't know how the whole Korean thing happened with the hair industry until she broke it down, because I always wondered about that too. I remember there were black owned hair stores back in the day when I was coming up, but she broke it down. Let me see, I don't want to miss nobody's comment. In 1988, I was working at Mickey D's. Right on, right on. 1988, I was in junior high, man. Now you're old school if you're using the term junior high and not middle school. Okay. And Sean Levert came in there. No way, dude. What did you do? What did you do? He was at Mickey D's. Did you get him a Happy Meal? I would have been dope. Oh, shoot. You got to tell me what you did. Shoot, I remember my little brother, we were up in Hollywood on a family outing, my family. And my brother, we saw Eddie Murphy. My brother's like, oh my gosh. He was like 4. that's Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy was looking all like kind of trying to like look away, you know. Then when he pulled away, he's like, man, that's Eddie Murphy's gas. What a trip. Man. But yeah, man. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys mentioned Ice Cube and Yo-Yo. Dude, Ice Cube had a lot of cool like rappers with him, man. Like just you got I mean the Lynch Mob was one that was like his whole crew, but you know the group out of that just the Lynch Mob was dope. Uh, uh um you know, of course, anybody like his production team was on point. Cam, you guys remember West Coast Cam? What's up? You know, that I mean, dope MC, man. You know, like, man, you know, and not to take away from Tupac, a lot of people give Tupac the credit for being this sort of conscious but gangster rapper. I think Cam was even more so, dude. Even though Cam didn't bang, he was a member of the Nation of Islam, but I think he represented that to the T, you know, because of just him being so conscious like that, and also having him having that street life, you know, thing before, you know. Dig West Coast Cam. Another rapper that used to rap with Ice Cube that came out of his crew that I don't know where he is, man. I don't know where that dude is. Deadly Threat. He went by Threat before, but he ended up going by Deadly Threat. I think just to probably make his name more distinguished. I don't know why he changed his name to that. I mean, it's rightfully so. He was always one of my favorites too, and he only released one album called Sick in the Head, but that's a West Coast classic. Let me see what you got. Yeah, man, I'm in LA. I'm from LA, dude. I'm from South LA. I'm from Long Beach, where Snoop is from. That's all LA County. I always say South LA, and South Central is like inner LA. You know, I call it inner LA. We're from Long Beach, you know, strong beach, the wrong beach to this. We do it like this. Shout out to RBX, the homie. Yeah, man, Long Beach, strong beach. Yeah, I'm from Long Beach, man. South LA, Long Beach, California. You know, but yeah, where are you from, man? Where's everybody from? Represent your city. Are you in LA, brother? Danubian? I know Nicole Ali is from LA. It'd be cool to meet her in person. She's cool. August is not from LA. I think Hood Mistress is from LA. You guys know who she is? She comes in the comments at times. There's a few LA cats on here, man. I think Aaron Collins might be from LA too. He told me he was. But y'all rep your city, man. Rep your city. Let me know where you guys are from, man. That'd be mad cap cool. Oh, Alabama, you're in LA? Ah, I'm from LA, Lower Alabama. Good one. Very good one. Some people say I'm from Louisiana. I was OMG and almost burned my burgers. Oh, I got something to tell you. You're going to laugh at this. You talk about, I was embarrassed. You guys, you're going to laugh at this. I know you guys are going to crack up. Man. Okay, there's a shop. It's a black-owned store called Simply Wholesome. If you guys ever go to LA, you need to hit that spot up. It's great. I need to do like a freaking video on that too. Dude, I'm there. I think it was either Mother's Day or my mom's birthday. It was it's so bad when you get old, you forget. I just remember the event and it had something to do with my mom. I think it was, oh man. I think it was my mom's birthday. Okay. One of those days, Mother's Day, birthday. Okay, I'm just saying. So I'm standing in line. Guess who pulls up right beside me? And I'm like, I wasn't going to say anything. Chaka Khan, dude. Chaka Khan was right next to me, dude. And check it out, yo. Like she was like right there. And I was debating on it. I know a sister always gets hit up. And she knew it was coming too. I'm like, hi, Chaka Khan. And she kind of like didn't really just want to say anything. I'm like, dude, my mom loves your you mind if I she's like, no, I don't want to sign it. I'm like, I'm so sorry, it's not for me, it's for my mother. I wouldn't even be asking you if it was for like me at all. Like seriously, it's for my mom, dude. She was kind of like hesitant at first, and then when I told her like my mom's like her biggest fan, she did. Man, I couldn't take a picture because my phone battery ran out. My mom, when I told her who signed those cookies, my mom didn't even want to open the cookie bag, dude. She loved BakkkK that I had to convince her to eat the cookies. I know how you feel. You almost burned the patties. Shasha, East Coast. Where you at on the East Coast, brother? Or wait, is that a sister? Shasha, are you a sister or brother? I don't want to mistakenly call you something that you're not. I met Ice Cube in the 90s. I met DMX in '03 when he lived there. Dude, brother, I met DMX in the Lakewood Mall, dude. He's short. He's shorter than I thought, man. The brother is shorter than I thought he was. And the funny thing is, dude, I'm like walking, I'm like, DMX? I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm just chilling. I started dying laughing, dude. He said, I'm just chilling. My oldest brother lives in Chatsworth. Brother Danubian. You gonna laugh when I tell you what people tell me what Chatsworth is the capital of. I don't know if you know. Yeah. You probably already know, man. What does your brother tell you about Chatsworth? I'm curious. And I'll tell you what a lot of cats like. I'm sorry for laughing. Chatsworth is famous for something. I found out about Chatsworth when I dropped somebody off when I used to do Uber and Lyft, and I had no idea about what it's famous for until that time. Oh shoot. Sorry, Shasha. Sister from Connecticut. Man, what's it like in Connecticut, man? I always think of leaves and like greenery over there. Even though I've never been there. I think when I used to tour, like we drove through there. I'm near Phoenix and Gary, Indiana. From Gary, oh, so you're from where Michael Jackson is from. That's dope. Did you ever see Jackson Street? Did they have it there when you were over there? Man, if you live in freaking Texas and Arizona and you stay there during the summer, you're a G. You're a gangster. I cannot do it. I'm from here. I can't do it. I complain. Put it like this. I like my weather in the 60s and 70s, like my music. I like 80s music too, but I always say that. Man, that's heavy. Let me know if you guys could hear me too, man. I'm so glad that I get to talk to you guys, man. Like, I was on freaking lockdown from like doing live streams for 3 months, man. All because of that idiot troll gamer, that racist troll gamer. I don't even want to say his name because they probably try to strike me then. Man, YouTube's a trip. They got like people monitoring this shit. Like, you say one thing against these racist troll gamers, they get all pissed off. Wow, man, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Let me see. Not much going on in Connecticut. New York City is about an hour drive from me. Man, I need to freaking... I have family in New York, man. Like my aunts, my grandaunts in New York. My mom has a whole side of family in New York. You know, I need to check them out. When I used to tour, I used to try to catch everybody, man. Like when I was touring with any band, and they would come out. Sometimes they would come out. It was just cool to see family that way. And some of my family from New Jersey came out. You know, it was cool, and it was so good that I got to see them because unfortunately, within a few years of that, they passed, and they passed. I mean, they weren't even the old. I think my granddaughter was probably maybe in her 70s, and my her daughter was like probably in her 40s at the time. So that was just really weird. I'm glad I got to see him. But yeah, man, dang, it's a trip that we're all talking to each other on different coasts. Yep. Yeah. It's known for that, brother. Hmm. That's why I'm like this. Um, I don't know if I would want to go over anyone's house in Chatsworth. I ain't trying to sit on nobody's couch or any furniture. Nasty. Shoot. Speaking of furniture, did you guys ever have the grandma that like had like plastic on her furniture when you sat down, you slid off the furniture? My grandma had that, man. My grandma's a G, dude. I love my grandma. Both my grandmas. One of them passed. May her memory be eternal. Ew. Nah, man. Yeah, Chatsworth is known for porn. Yep. Yuck. Whew. I think someone told me that they saw someone filming. I'm like, wow, really? Okay. I'll let you. Yeah, that's all you, man. Yeah. What do you guys think about? I mean, I didn't know that Eminem dissed Lord Jamar. He fixed his mouth to even go there, dude. How many of you guys heard it? I haven't heard it yet, but I'm just like, wow, really? You that bold now, huh? Crazy stuff. But freaking leavable, dude. Let me see. Yeah, brother, the Nubian. I'm totally in the 60s and 70s music. As a matter of fact, when I started playing music, that's mostly what I listened to. You know, 60s, 70s rock and roll, and like a lot of the soul and funk stuff. Yeah, that's all that I listen to. Especially, I'm a big progressive rock jazz fusion head too. So I'm listening to like Stanley Clark and Yes, Then I got into punk rock, So I had like my bout with that. I was still into hip hop and like, you know, other forms of different, I guess, modern pop music at that time, but mostly the only, I think, modern pop music, actually come to think of it, that I was into was hip hop, because I got burned out on all the new wave stuff in the mid 80s. It started sounding like freaking, like all that synth pop started boring the hell out of me. I can't stand Erasure. Yuck. I'm not a Depeche Mode fan either. Who's your favorite music in '80s, Shasha? Are you like into R&B, into new wave, into like hip hop, into funk, or just all of it? I was into pretty much all of it, mostly the funk, new wave, and hip hop though. And then I got into hardcore punk, you know, Bad Brains and DRI and all that stuff. I'm curious. Got into heavy metal too. Man, it's funny how like on the classic radio stations they're playing 80s music, and me and my sister looking at each other like, no, don't do it, bring back the 50s music for the classic stuff. We're just like how could they do this to us? I love, man, the 80s was a fun decade, man, even with some of the crazy stuff that I've seen. Rock, R&B, and pop, man. Yep. Man, list some bands, y'all. List some 80s bands that you guys dug, man. I don't care what genre. I'm all over the place music wise. I listen to some weird, crazy music too, like stuff that people are like, what the hell's that? All my favorite music is Motown. Motown was a force to be reckoned with, man. Hey, have you ever seen that movie about the Motown musicians called Standing in the Shadows? It's a great movie. Rest in peace to James Jamerson, man. And kind of pissed off, man, because he didn't get the props that he deserved as a bass player. James Jamerson has influenced every bass player, even indirectly. I will say that. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have a lot of bass players in rock and all that stuff. It's amazing how Eminem can just drop all those lyrics and not have to use The N word. Yeah, he can't. He has to tread lightly. And someone, Lashid brought up something that he said that was kind of. I mean, I know about his old racist tapes and all that. But I'm talking about some other stuff that he said. I'm like, what? And I'll be honest, I appreciate Eminem as an MC, but I don't look at him in the same way as a lot of people do, like making it seem like he's the second coming. When I first heard Eminem was through my brother. Me and my brother definitely is even more involved in hip hop. He makes beats and all that stuff. Worked with a lot of different people. But this is when we were even younger. My brother was probably the youngest beat maker that I've ever seen. Like that's the youngest beat maker I ever knew on a crew. He was about 13, I think, when he joined the crew that he was in. But my brother went to this club called Unity. We would go there every now and then and see like Jeru the Damager. I saw him. I saw Souls of Mischief. It was LA is pretty diverse, and I saw Mos Def and Talib Kweli. You had a lot of the guys from Project Blowed that would be up there and stuff. Or The Good Life, people like AC Alone and all those guys, Mean Green, Voodoo. Um, but Eminem actually, to me, will always be an MC from that era. Like he's not. When I heard him, I thought he was cool. I thought his style was cool when I first heard him when he first came out. This is when he had the demo, or I guess the Slim Shady EP. I heard him on like an underground rap station, and I didn't know what he was. My brother tripped out. He's all, yeah, that's a white dude. Did you know that? I'm like, I didn't. And he had showed me him, and I'm like, whoa, dude, that guy's tight. But he reminded me of like, a Saphir, or I mean, obviously he's not Saphir. He was in the same, basically, like early to mid '90s rappers that were coming up, that were kind of a part of those, like, you know, you would find a rapper like that on Sway and Tech, like, or back in the day, or just spitting bars, like that's what he reminded me of. And he was just another one to check. Oh, that's cool. Check it out. Check out that. Check out this. Check out that. Check out Saphir. Check out Casual. Check out freaking Rascash. Check out Chino XL. He was kind of like the last of those kind of individual rappers that came out rapping like that. And he reminds me of like like kind of how Dale the Funky Homo Sapien and all those guys came off. Let me read this. So like, and it's a trip. I actually was surprised that Dre signed him because of the cadre of rappers that he was kind of came out within the same group of people. I'm not saying it right. So I was surprised that even Dre signed him. I'm like, huh? Not just because he's white, but just the kind of rapping that he was doing. It was like Dre signing one of the members of Souls of Mischief or something like that. Not to compare him to that, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Let me look. Let me read some of this more. Yes, that plastic will cut you. Uh-oh, I think I lost where that. Yes, and that plastic will cut you. Oh, shoot. You sound right when you say dude. Well, you know what? Everybody said I've been getting that shit for years. I don't care. I say dude all the time. I mean, I grew up around a lot of different cats. People think oops. Sorry, you guys. My thing went out. Yeah, people think I sound white all the time, and for me, I don't even care anymore because I'm black. Everybody can see that I'm black. No disrespect to you. I've been getting that for years. People, oh, you don't sound as black, and I'm like this. We sound so many different ways. That's just how it is. I mean, take a look at somebody like Professor Black Truth. I've heard people think that he is not black at all, but it is what it is. Like I sound like me. I can't pretend like I'm anyone else. I've gotten everything that from you sound white, you sound Mexican, you sound ghetto. I get everything. I sound like me. It's a mixture of a bunch of different things. I grew up around a lot of different kinds of cats, but at the same time, I know who I am. So it's like, oh shoot. So that's just me. I'm gonna talk like I am. I can't fake who I am. Like, so sorry if it's offensive to y'all. That's just how it is. Like that's how I am. I'm gonna say dude a lot. you know. But yeah, anyways, it's all good. I understand. I know it's not normal, and I've been hearing it for years. It's all cool. I'm not offended. It's all good. Um, what was that? Okay, okay. I love People Bryson, Jeffrey Osborne. Where is Jeffrey Osborne and People Bryson? Haven't heard them for years. Guns N' Roses. I like the first Guns N' Roses album. After that, I'm like, because Axl Rose pissed me off. He pissed off Slash too. That's why they kind of broke up. You know, Slash was like the only black member in the group, but Slash kind of tripped me out. Like, how you gonna not know that the dude said the N word and you're in the damn band? That's probably one of the reasons he left too. Um, where is that? Tina Marie, yes. Tina's dope. People has yeah. What is he doing? He has new music. I haven't heard of him since some like the late '80s. Shasha says '90s and early 2000s rap. Yeah, I'm a '90s rap. I always say that '90s rap reminds me of early '70s rock and roll because it was so diverse. I might even do a video on that one of these days. I saw Standing in the Shadows of Motown in the theaters in Tampa 2002. Man, did it make you cry? It made me cry. I cried, man. I'm a musician, so it really hit close to home, but black musicians went through all kinds of shit back then, like a lot of us did. We're still going through it, but you know, a lot of black people went through shit in all the areas of activity. You know, like I was watching. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Screaming Jay Hawkins. He did that song I'll Put a Spell on You, which is all. Screaming Jay is a trip, but like they were talking about how basically like he went to get his royalties and he got threatened by like this Italian mob, you know, from what I understand. And they said basically they threatened him, and he just stopped playing music after that. There's a documentary about him on here, and he talks about all that. It's crazy how the industry was ran like that. You know, look at Frankie Lyman. You know, I mean, it's story after story. Okay, let me finish reading this. Biggie Pop, De La Soul, Arrested Development. Yes, Arrested Development was a great group, man. An amazing and original group. Speech, all of them. Deion Ferris was in that group at one point too. Um, I think she, yeah, that was her. Um, people call me and tell me, people tell me the same thing. Oh, about your accent? Yeah, yeah, I know I have an accent, and you know, I mean, my accent's a mix. My sister and I were talking about it. My sister doesn't talk like me. Everyone thinks I'm a surfer. I've never surfed a day in my life. I used to skateboard though. Um, my sister was like, "Yeah, our accent is just sort of like the way it is because of where we grew up, the Long Beach, sort of Carson, Harbor area of LA. You know, like it's a mix between mostly blacks and Mexicans and some Pacific Islanders. You know, back in the days, a few sort of like lower middle class white people too. But I've been around. I don't know. I can't even explain my. It's like I'm always. I feel like I always have to explain my accent. Plus, my grandma actually. If I sound proper, I have my grandma. Funny, she's from Alabama too. But a lot of cats from Alabama don't. And you could attest to this. Alabama. Alabamans don't always talk in that drawl. Like my grandma was like one of the most proper. Like, I mean, if she wanted to let it flow, you know, with the way I guess most of people consider the way that we talk, you know, she could let that flow too, just like a lot of us. But she was very proper, man. Like when it came, I'm saying that, you know, like just proper English or whatever. I don't like using that term because English is a bastardized language anyway. You can do whatever you want to English at this point, you know, and even before this point, it was like that because we don't even, you know, I get on all these white supremacist trolls talking about the way I talk and all this stuff and like the way I write, and I tell them the same thing. I'm like, look, you don't even speak proper English. You're not speaking the Queen's English. You're not speaking proper English, so fuck off. I tell them that straight up. I'm like, I don't fucking care about your language, dude. Seriously, I speak it the way I want to because it's a situational language and I can do whatever I want with it, you know? I make up words, dude. And some of you guys might. Oh. But anyway, yeah, my grandma spoke very proper and just really you know. So some of my accent comes from that, and plus just coming up with different cats, I sound the way I do, you know. And it was yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get off of trying to explain my accent. I've felt like I've had to explain that for a long time. Okay, let me see. It's in the Central Valley vibe. My accent or your accent, August. How are you, August? It's so cool to see you on here. August is so nice. We could be in a lot of like a whole big conversation is like a barrage of cats, man. And August will somehow see me and say, "Hey, what's up, Audie?" I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Shoot, you say hi before a lot of cats that I even know on the like the panel say what's up. That's so cool, man. All you guys are awesome, though, man. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hear gamers say "dude" just like that. Yeah, they probably do. They say the N word too, motherfuckers. The white ones. Um, yeah, man. I'm kind of an old punk rocker. A lot of skaters. Some of us talk like that too. You know, I say the word cat a lot because I mean a lot of jazz cats would talk like that. Black jazz cats. Greetings to you, August. Yeah, I say, dude, I got clowned for the way I talk, man. Back and especially brothers is on my ass. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Like saying that shit. I'm like, whatever. Okay, you got me. What the fuck you want me to do? If I was gonna, I don't. It was just funny, man. I'm like, well, okay, all right. It is what it is. Um, that gamer thing is a trip, man. Like I don't, all my students, a lot of them are gamers. You know, I've always been an R&B person. That's cool. Okay, brother. So, what do you like more, 60s and 70s R&B, or 90s R, or do you like a variety of different ones? Because I mean, I like a lot of the older stuff, but I always, I give an ear to some of the new stuff, like when cats like turn me on to it. I like a lot of the underground stuff, like the rare groove, like groups like King, who I saw in concert. Those sisters are dope, man. You know, um, shoot. Of course, I dig 60s and 70s R&B a lot. Some 80s stuff, freaking Sade. Who doesn't like Sade? Yeah, man. Sade, like, it's dope. Yeah. But I don't know. Sade's all over the place, too. That's another one. Um, oh, let me finish. Sorry, you guys. I'm lagging on the comments. August giving the love. Thank you. So cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Only when you say, dude, I know, man. It's all good. I'm I'm not tripping. I guess it's the skater in me. I suck at skateboarding, but yeah. I don't know what I sound like anymore. I'm just like, all right. You guys know what I am. I'm a brother. People would trip out when they hear if they heard my accent and they're like, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Um, what was that? Yes. All right. The word jazz originally considered, yep, jackass music. They called it ass, and even Gil Scott Heron brought that up too. They call it ass music. Um, Let me see. Then jazz music, and it's so funny how that is now the classic music. Let me tell you something about jazz, and I tell my students this all the time. I put it up to my students, just kind of give them the back history of this stuff. It's funny you mentioned that. When you mention jazz too, keep in mind like a lot of that, which the swing. aspect of it, cats were jamming to. But then it's almost like Charlie Parker. Everything that's jazz, how could I say this? Everything that was after swing was post bebop. Because you notice with bebop, they couldn't just dance to bebop. Bebop was faster than faster than the swing stuff, so they had to listen. And Charlie Parker wanted cats to listen, man. That's the thing. You know, and jazz became more of a predominantly listen music. Of course, you'll probably have some slow jazz that cats would dance to, but it was always, I mean, and even like I like a lot of bop. I like a lot of hard bop, like really fast, you know, allegro presto jazz, like just blitz speed, you know, and a lot of free jazz. I'm an avant-garde, you know, I'm known to be like an avant-garde sort of musician, I guess, where I am. I don't like labeling what I do, but I'm into like a lot of that stuff. I like bop. I like a lot of free jazz. I like jazz fusion. I like a lot of anything that's on the whole, I guess, avant-garde thing, but that could mean anything. But anyway, but yeah, jazz has a weird history. That word, its etymology is a trip. Same with rock and roll. Rock and roll, you know, actually came from the black church. You know, they had gospel songs like rockin' and rollin', and then it became a sexual term, and then it became a genre of music. And back then they called it nigger music. I hate using that term. I did a video on that. You know, they called it race music. They called it the N-word music. People weren't feeling rock and roll like that. Like they try to say that they're feeling it now. That's why I got on that Richard Spencer video. I did a video about that if you guys haven't seen it. How rock and roll was demonized like hip hop is now. You know, these devils were making fun of Extensacion's death and talking shit about rap music and trying to hooray rock and roll, when rock and roll pretty much had a lot of the same things that they accuse Extensacion of. And I gave examples of that in that video. You know, sorry y'all, let me get up on these comments. I lived in South Carolina for a little while, and everyone there told me that I sound like a news reporter. Now I gotta hear your voice. Man. Okay, I have Dion Ferris. Love her song, Hopeless was the bomb. Yeah, man, Dion Ferris was a trip. She's another one that you couldn't really... Her style was like a folk R&B. It was a trip, man. You know, I liked her cover of Blackbird by the Beatles. It was beautiful, man. Very beautiful version of that song. Cat was used by Cool Brothers in the 60s and early 70s. Yep. And you know why? Because cats got in between things, man. Cats would drop from a floor and they would land on their feet like nothing happened, man. You couldn't fade a cat. I'm allergic to cats like an MF, or, you know, but you could not fade cats, and cats were just cool and slick. They could slide in and out of wherever they were. That's, yeah, brothers knew what was up. They still know what's up, man. We've freaking invented so many different terms. Even the term man, we invented that, like saying man the way, hey, what's up, man? Because we got tired of being called boy, that's why. And I love that, man. I say that with man, whenever I say, what's up, man? That's right. That's right, man. Cats are over there. What exactly is speaking proper? Yep, that's a good question. English language is overrated. Yes, it is. It's not at all that special. No, it isn't. And that's why I always laugh at these fucking white supremacist idiot when they get on me about, like, even me writing. Yeah, I don't fucking care. I've done typos. I've corrected them. Sometimes I actually do write in phonetics too. I got that from Sonia Sanchez. If you guys know who she is, she's a poet, an activist too. She wrote a book called We Are Bad People, and sometimes I write in phonetics like that. But even getting back to that, it's like they act like English is something like the language of Giz. In my church, we pray in that language, Giz. It's an ancient language that actually influenced Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic. That to me is a legit language. It's not a situational language at all. You cannot make Giz into a situational language like all these Romance languages. And I'm saying that like being predominantly speaking a Romance language. So they can't say crap about English is no holy writ at all, dude. It's a bastardized language. You're right, August. Brother Danubian said R&B, R&B and jazz is my favorite. Rachel Farrell is the best. I gotta check her out. Check her out. Rage Against the Machine is pretty cool too, dude. Rage Against the Machine is no joke, man. And I'll be honest, I can't surprise. I'm surprised that they let them on the radio with the stuff that they're talking about. Zach himself actually used to be in a punk band called Inside Out. They're like a straight edge punk rock band influenced by a lot of the East Coast stuff, but even predominantly influenced by an all black punk rock band by the name of Bad Brains, who I'm going to be doing a Black History of Rock and Roll audio version of that band pretty soon. I actually put up one of their videos, but let me see. But yeah, Rage is cool. I like Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, those guys are on point. Sade is working on. Yes! Oh my gosh! Yes! Man, I thought it was a rumor. Oh! I'm so glad she is. She only plays a concert every millennium, and I can't miss it this time. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive for the next time she comes through. So I gotta somehow get some money saved up because I'm gonna take my parents too. Oh man. August Dream, hello. Yes, you guys, please talk to each other. That's so cool. Y'all are meeting each other. August Dream says, interesting how these Caucasians speak down on our music, yet white-owned music corporations and culture vultures have made billions off of it. Yes, they have. They have. And it's funny because these same devils sound just like the other older devils talking about that. And it's funny because when you think of even like Sam Phillips, I've mentioned this before and I keep saying this. Sam Phillips had the Sun Records label, like they released a bunch of different blues artists and country artists and early rock and roll, and he said basically he was having a hard time selling because it was predominantly black people. And he said if we only had a white face and a Negro voice, we could cross this music over and make a whole lot of money doing it. Now, I'll tell you this. I'm kind of reluctant to give Sam Phillips the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, I believe that of course he liked the music and he was trying to push that music out there because you had a lot of white people sneaking listening to that stuff. But, their parents wanted them to have Pat Boone, lame versions of Tutti Frutti and all that. And then Elvis, but the thing is, Elvis supposedly, I'm saying quote, had that black voice. They kind of got on him a little bit before they really accepted him because, he's acting like the N-word and all that. And I'm not an Elvis fan, so I'm not justifying him, but a lot of brothers did actually give him props back then for helping cross over the music, and they got them, from what I understand, some residuals because of it. But the thing is that pissed me off, he became a catalyst for what the industry was doing and what they continued to do. They did this, even when you mention a band like Chic, Nile Rodgers, man, I love Chic. Nile Rodgers told, in an interview I read, he said, they were a rock band called the Big Apple, kind of like a jazz rock fusion group. And they sent them demos and basically were denied when they found out that they were black. So it was almost like you're not a rock, you can't be marketed to a white audience because you're black and playing rock and roll. And so they kind of switched it up a little bit. Of course, they rocked the funk and kind of made what people might consider like a really kind of rough disco. They didn't really like to be called disco, by the way. They considered themselves a funk band at that point. Chic did. But yeah, that's one of many different examples. I can tell you a bunch of different examples with blacks being kind of like typecasted, and it's just lame, Oops, sorry, let me keep reading that. August Dream says, oh, she's giving you a shout out. Facts. Yeah, definite facts. Yes, black power for real. Black power and black autonomy. Black autonomy and black conglomerate. To me, I need to do a video on black autonomy. I know it's a black anarchist term, but I use it. And it should be used more than it has, and not just to be typecasted as that. I saw Sade in concert. Man, what year did you see her? I missed Sade when she played with Diggable Planets. I really wanted to see that. Brother Danubian, is Cat Daddy a group? That sounds. Isn't that a term too? Cats used to use that. Cat Daddy, yeah, that's dope. Man, I wish I could have saw her. Elvis was a hero to most. He's a mother him and John Wade, because I'm black and I'm proud. You guys know that Public Enemy song, Fight the Power. Yeah, Elvis is not the king of rock and roll. As a matter of fact, Elvis was influenced by who I would call the queen mother of rock and roll. I did a video on her. If you guys look at my videos, you'll see it. Rosetta Tharpe. Let me tell you something about Rosetta Tharpe. Rosetta Tharpe was a gospel singer, but she played a mean guitar. Every guitarist that you could think of in rock and roll has either been influenced by her or indirectly influenced by her. Chuck Berry was one of them. Elvis definitely was one. All of them, dude. Read about Sister Rosetta Tharpe, man. Like, you would laugh at some of the videos because she looks like some old, like she's dressed all kind of down like a grandma almost. And she's killing it on that freaking guitar, man. Like, it's all distorted and just mowing them down, man. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Yeah, in the 30s, by the way, rock and roll, I would say rock and roll has its roots in the 20s and 30s. I'm not just saying that. You can go back as far as the 20s and you know, have Memphis Minnie, actually. She did stuff that was supposedly really considered rock and roll. Her and Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson was more in the 30s, though. Zeppelin covered freaking Memphis Minnie. They bit off of one of her songs, As the Levee Breaks, and they covered that. You know, let me see. I know I'm getting behind on the things. You guys got me interested in all your comments. A brother named Rufus Payne taught Hank Williams to play the guitar. Yep. You know what? And let me tell you this. Country is just Delta blues, dude. Yeah. And black folks had the fucking banjo before it even came here. That's a Mali instrument, dude. That's from Mali, dude. You know? Yeah, big time, man. Thanks, Shasha. That's on point. Oh, man, you guys saw Sade? Oh, my gosh. Ooh, I want to see her. So you went on the Love Deluxe tour, huh? Oh, no, Love Deluxe was early 90s. You went on the Lovers Rock tour, August? Damn. Yeah, that's so dope, man. Rosetta Tharpe, she literally created rock and roll. Yeah, she did. She totally did. Yep, Big Mama Thornton too. Yep. Yeah, Brother Danubian. I literally saw Big Mama Thornton a few days ago on the Dick Cavett show. That was a cool talk show, man. Jimi Hendrix was on that. I like I heard Dick Cavett would like curse people out too. Oh man, I wish they had all that stuff. Like, you could find pieces of it on YouTube. Rufus, aka T Todd, died broke in a Montgomery shelter, an Alabama shelter. That's so messed up, man. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Or should I say modern day rock and roll? I would say yes. I don't care what anyone says. And I got into a conversation with this one dude on my Facebook page because, well, I'll explain that real quick. Yeah, he was talking about I forgot this cat's name. He's a white cat that has his videos on music. I really like a lot of his takes on things because he talks about how like a lot of even modern day music is still blues. You know, like it's blues influenced, and he's right. You know. He also is into like a lot of the modern classical too that I really like Olivier Messiaen and all that. But but to bring it back to what he was saying, you know, he was talking about how like as much as I can't stand Adele, she's like slit wrist like ballad stuff. I can't stand it. But her music is blues influence. He said Beyonce's music is blues influence. He said heavy metal, and he was right. He's totally right. So I posted this on my page, and one of the guys, he's really, he's in the blues, but he didn't understand what the dude meant. So he was kind of talking about how basically, nah, it has nothing to do with blues. None of these artists. I'm like, no, they actually do, because their influences. You cannot. Most pop music, if not all pop music, has influences from blues and gospel, whether it be indirectly or directly. I don't care what kind of music it is, which cracks me up even when people talk about punk, oh, punk is the whitest form of rock and roll. I disagree with that too, because you wouldn't have those Chuck Berry chords if it wasn't, in punk rock, if it wasn't for that. Plus punk rock takes a direct influence from the rebelliousness of rock and roll. And that started with black people. Bo Diddley, freaking Chuck Berry, Screaming Jay Hawkins, dude, Little Richard, all of them were like that. Little Richard, man, I'm doing this series, y'all, the Black History of Rock and Roll. Like I have a lot of that stuff written on my pages, but I'm doing the video, so you guys will see it every now and then. Let me get to the comments some more. I don't know. Wow, our people created music and died penniless. Yeah, Pat. Oh, yeah, it's sad, man. It's really sad. A lot of us have. Yeah, it's not good at all, man. And the record company is making money off of it still to this day. It's a shame. You think about, you wonder how, like, to go through even something like the Chitlin circuit, which I need to do more research on, like that was our way of basically like kind of touring amongst ourselves. But it was rough, man. It was rough even then doing that because of what a lot of us had to go through, even touring and where to stay and all that, Poor Fats Domino, man. I watched a video on Rosetta Tharpe a few months ago, and I was like, damn, yeah, the way she plays, man. And she was joyous. But then again, rock and roll comes from gospel music too. It's blues and gospel that influence that. As a matter of fact, a lot of the earlier R&B, that upbeat tempo comes from that. When people talk about heavy metal, I say the same thing. You would not have heavy metal if it wasn't for jazz, blues, and even R&B. Because when you listen to the first Black Sabbath or any of those earlier bands, they have those beats, they have a lot of those riffs, they fused them with their own thing, but that was the foundation. And even when you talk about the tritone, in rock and roll, Jimi Hendrix, I gotta do this video, and I've been meaning to write this even down, how Jimi Hendrix is still heavy metal to me. When I first got into that music, even earlier on, like it would not be a weird thing to see Jimi Hendrix in Circus Magazine, even years after he died, because his influence was that tremendous. No, I don't care if it's a death metal band or any other band like that. Everybody is influenced by Hendrix too, because of the way that they play the guitar, his showmanship, what he did sonically to the guitar no one else had ever done, chord wise, and even some of the crazy noises that he made. Jimmy was a man. Sorry, y'all. I don't mean to go off on a tangent. Type in Rochelle Farrell. I know you'll love me live. Yeah, I'm gonna check her out, man. I'm gonna check that out for sure. Now, here's a question for you guys. Are any of you guys musicians too? Even if you play for fun? I know Cap is a musician. Cap plays guitar. You guys have seen him. He did a really cool version of Bob Marley, like some Bob Marley covers. Man, it was cool. That's our music, you guys. We need to own that. And even for what I don't know how you guys feel about Tariq Nasheed. I dig a lot of what he's doing, on the black empowerment side. But his group Ming Slide, he even said it. He's all, you know what? A lot of people are mad at how like a lot of artists are using this funk stuff, but we need to not discard our own stuff that we created. And it's why he did the Ming slide thing. And I admire him for that because I like that 80s funk too. I like SOS Band, you know, I like all that stuff. Yeah. Oops. Have to check that out, man. This is dope. I really admire you guys coming out, man. Seriously. I didn't know if I was going to get cats or not. This is my first night out of YouTube jail. Woo! La, 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 la. As my Ethiopian homegirls would say. La, 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 la. I be hearing that at church, man. Like when cats be like, they have their mezmur, and you hear, la, 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 la. I be doing it on the low, man, because I'm like, usually traditionally guys don't do it, but I like that noise, man. It's pretty cool. It's a praise. It's called the alalta. I think that's what made Stephanie Mills so angry in that Crocker top singer. Oh, well, man, my eyes are all jacked up. Cracker top singers like Sarah Vaughan were billing, but had to enter through the back door. Yeah, it was the same thing at the Cotton Club, man. Charlie Parker, they all had to go through the back door, dude. And it's the reason that Charlie Parker, from what I understand, it was something that I saw, he was just like, F this. And I wish, for some reason, I cannot find that album cover to this day. The original version of Coco by Charlie Parker had basically this white record executive being punched out, opening the album. You know how like they used to have the open album sleeves to Coco. He sped it up, man. He's like, y'all are gonna hear and you're gonna experience what I go through. You're gonna hear me. You're gonna listen to me. You know, this is. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's bad, man. I admire Dave Brubeck, and here's the reason why. You know, Dave Brubeck, white jazz musician, did something that was interesting. You know, and he was on tour, and they tried to do the same thing with him because he had like a black bass player, and basically they wouldn't let him play. I mean, they wouldn't let the bass player play on stage. He had to stand behind a freaking curtain. So Dave Brubeck was like this: he either plays on stage with us, or we're not playing at all. Of course, Dave got his say because I mean they were out of money if he didn't play. But it's a trip, man. It was. I mean, I admire the few cats that were down to rock like that. But unfortunately, there's a lot of instances where a lot of brothers and sisters weren't. I mean, they didn't get that kind of treatment. You know, music in a sense helped kind of unify in certain degrees with that regard. You know, and just how could I say it? Cats music had cats kind of face certain things, you know, in a lot of ways. I mean, it brought people to think together in that regard. Um, I think. Oh, sorry. August says, right, the devils came at me. Ooh, man, my eyes are all jacked up. Sorry, guys. The devils came at me on a Supremes video because I said they probably had to go through the back door. And you're right. I wouldn't deny it. They don't want to hear history, dude. Some of them do know, and some of them will tell you, yes, this happened. You know, and those people, if they're all about justice, I'm cool with that. But the ones that aren't, they can go somewhere. They can seriously kick rocks for all I care. You know, I used to sing in the early 90s. Why you stop? Homeboy, why you stop, man? Why you stop? Yeah, I'm in my own band now. I played with a bunch of different bands. One had a relatively good following, but left that band, and I'm happy I left. Creative differences, big time. Um, Played with a few bands here and there, and in one of the bands that I was actually in was kind of also a community group. You know, we would play music, and then we would do music programs. It's kind of how I got into what I'm doing now with a lot of the youth where I live and stuff, which is really cool. It's a blessing. It's true, brother. The Supremes began singing in the early '60s. That was a good group, man. Very good group. Some controversial stuff happened, unfortunately, with them, but very great group, man. Good tunes too. We had a lot of interesting girl groups, like black female groups that, like the Crystals, was one. What was that one? The Blossoms from the Crystals. It was weird. The Crystals, and I featured them. Like, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I have my Black History of Rock and Roll thing too on there. You can hashtag it and check out all that. The Crystals were on the East Coast, and I guess like they were like Phil Spector would record them in a bunch of different groups. And the funny thing is, the Blossoms out here in LA, um, they they recorded the song because I guess the Crystals couldn't make it, and the Crystals were the ones that got credit for it. It was a weird situation. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was the "Kissed Me" song, but yeah. As a side note, but we had a lot of interesting black girl groups back then. America, August says. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. August says America was still very segregated in the '60s. Oh yeah, definitely. I can say this though, in a lot of ways, music brought people together, at least in the working sense. You had musicians that talked about certain things, and just it's interesting though to watch those old interviews, like even like with what I mentioned about Dave Brubeck. And there are different white and black bands too. I actually feature some of those groups in my series. The Chambers Brothers was one. If you guys are familiar with them, they had the song "Time That's Come Today." Time has come today. You wonder, and those guys were all like, you know, actually they were mostly black, maybe a few of them white, but the Booker T and the NGs, two white dudes, two black dudes, and those guys were from Memphis, so you only can imagine what they went through. And they were around for quite a bit. Great group. I like that group a lot. You know, yeah, man, it's a trip. I like a lot of '60s, especially the late '60s and '70s music. A lot of revolutionary stuff. I'm definitely a rocker for sure. I could tell you a bunch of stuff that has to do with that. But a lot of even like I like the fact that even Iggy Pop, when he was asked about what influenced him, he spoke at some college. He put on a John Coltrane album. Now this is Iggy Pop, crazy ass Iggy Pop. Like proto what Sid Vicious tried to be. Iggy Pop, lead singer of the Stooges, used to throw peanut butter on him, and throw himself in off stage in the audience. And basically, yeah, this proto punk rocker said, yeah, John Coltrane, man, it was John Coltrane and James Brown pretty much that kind of influenced a lot of bands, like the Stooges and all that, you know. Yeah, it is. I some people probably like I know, like, I'll be honest with you guys. I might not be the typical cat sometimes for some of the chat groups, but I don't care because I am what I am, and I'm a black man too, and I'm sharing a lot of the same experiences. But yeah, man, I'm a rocker. You see me in my Bad Brains and Disturbulence t-shirts. Like, but it's almost like, if you guys are familiar with the movie Afro Punk, James Spooner said it like this. he made that movie for basically a lot of brothers and sisters that might have gone through the same, some of the same things that he did, but also, you know, there was a community, which I'm a part of that community as well, that was growth out of that as well. Just he wanted to build that community, but not to be so much of an enclave, but also to be, you know, to show that hey, we're all in this experience together as black people, no matter how I look. I could have a freaking mohawk. You know, I've had a mohawk. It doesn't matter. I'm still black. You know, I still have gone through the same damn experiences that a lot of us go through. So yeah, I'm one of the way that, you know, we're all rocking together. Ooh, Sasha says good night, fam. It's 12 a.m. here and gotta wake up and fall. Oh Lord! Well, thank you for joining me. That's freaking. That's like. That's madcap late, man. I really appreciate you joining me. Good night, sleep tight. Don't you worry. Shout out to the Radical Home sister. I wish she was on here so she could hear the shout out too. I just have to give that sister a shout out. She's always really cool too. Um, I was so happy to see Lashid. It's funny because I didn't know what happened to her, but yeah, man. Hey, brother Danubian, where are you at again, man? If you don't mind me asking, you're close to where I am, or you're in Arizona? Man, it's so cool to see all you guys too when I'm in other chat rooms. I totally dig it. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Radical Home Sister's a sweetheart. I dig her. August, are you actually in the Central Valley too, or you where are you? Yeah, Radical Home Sister's cool. You guys go to her page and show her some love, man. August is in the Midwest. Yikes. Pulling my beard. Ah, my teeth. Shoot. Man, that's heavy, y'all. Well, man, dude, oh my gosh. I'm probably gonna get my roll on like deodorant too. I'm just so glad that all of you guys like came out and started like rocking with me. And I'm glad we had this conversation. Sometimes I know I'm a little scattered, you know, but I really appreciate you guys like getting with me and rocking some madness. Yeah. How you guys like those chats with O'Shea, man? He's been really impressing me, man. I remember that first like found out about him, he kind of disappointed me because he kept calling himself ugly and then bagging on black women. I'm like, why is this brother tripping and hating on himself? And then, you know, but he's come a long way, man. He's changed a lot. I dig O'Shea, man. He cracks me up. He's did he? I think he cut one of the streams off because the cats kept arguing. He thought, man, you guys bring my blood pressure up, and then all of a sudden you hear this nothing. O'Shea is hilarious, man. He cracking me up. Oh man. Sorry, I'm eating grapes, y'all. Yeah. In my car, chilling. O'Shea needs to change his mentality. Too much cussing and calling people the N word. Yeah, I'm not really into that too. I mean, but it's almost like even though I know a street conversation or whatever, but yeah, he's come a long way though. He's come a long way, man. Um, but man, I'm trying to not curse like that too. Lately, I've been thinking, I'm like, man, what if I pass it in my some of the cats, like the kids that I know. I don't mind being angry, but I know I need to kind of tone it down, and I need to keep that in mind. I don't have to use profanity. Sometimes it just comes out, but I know that I don't have to use it. Like especially when I'm really pissed off about something and I'm on here, or I'm mocking someone. I've been really restraining myself trying to mock some of these people lately, but I need to not be using foul language like that too, because you always think about what you leave here, and just I don't want to leave like a lot of cursing, if someone finds that, if I'm angry, I'd rather have more of a sound thing, even though I try to be as sound as possible, but I could do it without that too. So I totally understand what you mean by that, man. You guys are awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, he doesn't need to curse. Nobody needs to curse, really. But some of the stuff that he has me cracking up, man, like what bagging on. Oh man. I'll tell you, man. Well, I probably shouldn't say it on this stream because I feel like there's a few controversial cats that he usually gets on that I'm like, man, these cats, man. These cats, ooh. Yeah, okay. I'll be honest, and I know I posted a video on this, and some people I got so many thumbs down for that. But a lot of cats don't understand. They would really have to listen to that podcast. I mean, not that stream that he did with. He had Cynthia. He had China Fox. I know that's kind of a crazy thing. Who else did he have? He had a Miri. He had Phil from Advice, and I thought it was a really beautiful conversation between those three. The few times that I've heard Cynthia, and Cynthia to me is very smart. I don't agree with everything that she says, to be honest. Um, and sometimes I don't want to put her down. At times I think, like, how can I say this? I felt like she was just kind of going around picking fights with certain people because they might not be down with what she's into. And I don't want to make her look bad, like, or just be like one of those dudes talking about her, because that's not right. Like, I don't even know her like that. Even with my disagreements, I can't do that. But this conversation that they had was really beautiful, man, because they went in depth. They all listened to each other, of course, and then just, yeah, you guys, it's hard for me to talk about it, but it was really cool. It was really cordial, and everyone seemed like really sound with what they were saying. And she brought some things up that was really interesting about her life and what she went through. But yeah. Yeah, he has heated debates, but I like the fact that he's bringing black people together, especially the most unlikely kinds of black people. Imagine Cynthia G on a freaking like stream with ABL, dude. Like that's a trip. Or Dynas with what's that cat? Super Sly. Like far out, man. I know he has good intentions with that too. I know he does. Yeah. I call him another bootleg. That's what that stands for to me. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, that's what I usually call him. I am subscribed to her channel. I'm surprised that I'm still subscribed to her too. I occasionally listen to her, but not a lot. Laughing at your comment, August. You and Danubian have me dying laughing. Another bootlick is a super. You know what? My thing with him, and there's some other cats on here that really are more even disturbing than him. I don't understand why that fool is so down with the alt right. That's just straight up. You're down with the enemy, dude. Those people don't care about you. They think that you're an N-word, bro. Like that's just lame. Like, why would you follow some fools like that? It's like him and this other. There's a few other cats on here. I'm surprised that these cats even exist, man. I unsub from her arrogant ass after she went after radical. Yeah, nobody should go after Sister Ajali, man. I didn't. She told me that she did that. I didn't know that she did that until Radical Home Sister said that. I'm like, what? Why would you do that to such a sweet person, man? Man, nobody, man, leave Radical Home Sister alone. Infoman said that. He does look like a. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna quit, man. Shoot, I thought my acronym for him was just as bad, man. I got timed out because I was like kind of clowning him in the chat. My ass got timed the fuck out. I think he probably was the one time in my ass. I think I was like timed out for like 5 or 10 minutes too, man. I was like, man, you suck. But I was just being not cool, I guess. Man, what a trip, man. Yes, there's some cats on here that will make another boot look like a freaking like Malcolm X. I'm serious. Like there's some even worse than him, dude. It pisses me off. I ended up on one of their pages, and I got into a heated argument with this white supremacist shit idiot on there, and I mean, man, I wish. Ooh, he was a devil, man. That guy. These younger people need to seek counsel from the elders and not not bash them. She called her old and wanted to slap her. Really? Dude, Radical Home Sister's a beautiful woman. She doesn't need, I mean, and I'm not going to say Cynthia is ugly either. She's not. She puts on a lot of makeup, looks pretty goth in a lot of ways, and I'm not clowning because I dig goth. I have black goth friends as well, goth friends of all races, but yeah. Um, she is not, I'll tell you this, age shaming is stupid for one, because when you have as much wisdom as the Radical Home Sister, I mean, like, how could you diss a person like that with all that wisdom? And plus, she's a beautiful person inside and outside. Man, yeah, that's just wrong, dude. I didn't even know she did that. She's being toxic. She has a lot of healing that she needs in her life. She really, that woman needs healing, dude. Radical sister was attacked by that truck driving person also. What truck driver? Was it the mad bus driver guy? That guy is hilarious. Which truck driver? There was one video when I was asking new possibilities. If when he saw it, we're laughing at it. Mad bus driver did a video responding to new possibilities as a puppet. I was laughing so hard, man. Both of us were rolling through the email. That stuff was freaking funny, dude. That guy's crazy. Oh shoot. Nope, it's a lady named Truck Driver Diva. Oh wow, now I never heard of this chick. If she's like that freaking dingbat tree of logic, I can't stand her. I think she got one of my list banned. Tree of Logic is a freaking dude. She's horrible, man. I don't know what's wrong with that woman, dude. Like, she is really crazy, dude. Like she, oh, it's just she's one of the ones that I'm talking about that are just worse. Why did you do that, August? Why'd you unsubscribe to NP? That video with Mad Bus Driver responded to him had me dying laughing. That's like one of the funniest videos on here. Mad Bus Drivers. That guy's a trip anyway. We got a lot of mask YouTubers. Of course, my homie POV cracks me up too with his mask self. Why did you unsubscribe to MP, August? I mean, I shouldn't be asking that question. I dig his content. Of course, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't agree with a lot of the things that a lot of my views, and I agree to disagree with theirs as well. And that's cool, long as we're respectful. YW Queen. Man, people need to leave. Somebody else, I think, went after the radical home sister too. But there was somebody else. They need to leave her alone, dude. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Ross' son either, because he said he wasn't even talking about her. I can't take his defending Obama, DACA, and the Democrats all the time. Just a different opinion, though. I mean, it's good to hear his voice. I politically I don't side with Democrats or Republicans, and I'm sure a lot of us kind of have that thing. And I'm reluctant to say what I am because I don't really. I'll just say I'm a political agnostic. I think I said that even in one video, with a soft spot for what people might consider an anarchism. I'm not an anarchist though, but I do. Um, yeah, I like Brother Ben X. That guy is cool. He's really lighthearted too. True Royal Family went after her. Huh? True Royal. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! True Royal Family went after her apparently sister. Actually did something to them behind the scenes. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I dig her too, man. I dig True Royal Family. She be cracking me up, man. She be spitting, but having me dying laughing, man. Yeah, she's very powerful women too, man. Like I dig their content. All like her, True Royal, Radical Home Sister, and Lisa, and Nyla. Whew, Nyla's only been on here for probably a few months, and she's killing it, dude. I dig that chick, man. You know, I think Nyla's an Xer too. She doesn't even look anywhere near Generation X. What she was saying, she appears to be an Xer. Only different opinion is one thing, but continually defending him is, mm, yeah. Again, I'm not an Obama fan either, but I've seen a lot of things that MP like has that I think is very beneficial. I like to get his opinion on things, even though we don't agree on everything either. He has a lot of things that you know, like I'm one of those guys that I don't. Here's the thing that a lot of people might not agree with me on. I don't think that the civil rights was just all about chasing interracial sex. I don't agree with that at all. Because there's a lot of things that happen in the civil rights, and that's just one minuscule thing, if it is a thing, you know. And I know people from that era, it's just I get really disheartened. It hurts my heart every time I hear people just say that. That might be some people, but not everyone in that movement did that. And it's hard to say that, to just define the movement by that, because it's not. I don't like revisionism. So like I totally like agree with MP when he talks about that for sure. Because I think there's a lot of things that were gained. Yeah, there are some things that we didn't, but we learn from those things, and then we take up that mantle. Oops, sorry. Let me see that. Sister Jalii is the one who notified me about TRF. I just subbed to Nyla last week. I love Nyla, not just because she's fine as I don't know what, but I dig her content. She spits fire like an emmer effer, dude. Um, oh, August Green. Yeah, that's Jason Black's reasoning, and I admire Jason Black and Professor Black Truth a lot, but I don't agree with everything that they espouse either. Even though I strongly love their content and I learn a lot from them, I have things that I disagree with them a lot. I mean, all of us, we don't necessarily have to agree, but we have a common goal: black empowerment, right? You know, that's why I always say also black conglomerate, because a conglomerate is a society of so many different people that work together. I believe in black empowerment, black autonomy, and a black conglomerate. That's what I believe in. But yeah, I can't stand when a lot of people in this day and age spit on those in the civil rights, because not everybody was on some like kumbaya type stuff either. And I'm not gonna even piss on people that were peacefully protesting, because that was a feat within itself. You know, it's hard for me to say that, because I didn't live in that era, man, and I don't know what I would have done if I lived in that era. I was glad that my mom, and people, certain other people that I knew, told me things. I know people that were Panthers in that era. Even one guy that actually was Fred Hampton's friend. I know him personally. You know, I mean, that we should never ever piss on those that came before us, because we only know a little bit of what they probably were going through. And yeah, some people will say, well, we could judge by the things that are going on now. I understand that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just totally piss on that. Just learn from the mistakes, honor, you know, those that struggled enough to get us where the positive things that we have, or if they didn't, like of course a lot of that generational wealth and things like that. Yeah, now it's our turn to kind of change that, the things that we want to see. I understand the anger. I totally do, but I can't say that I totally side with that, you know? And now it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are you doing? You get a lot of cats talking about that and just pissing on the people in the civil rights movement. I don't think that that's right. For the Nubian, I learned things by reading between the lines. Yeah, man. Jason Black says that about the civil rights movement. Says the civil rights movement was so we could have access to interracial sex. I don't believe it was. If it was a minuscule part. That I'm not gonna say that that didn't exist because I would be lying, but it wasn't just that. Put it like this: I'm a black autonomist, dude. I believe in autonomy. I want to go where the fuck I want to go. I don't want to have to go like to a place and me being killed for that because of my race. When they were protesting at these places, yeah, I could say that's one thing. You know, the integration thing was more of a sign. Well, it wasn't so much that they wanted white people stuff, even though unfortunately you see a lot of people move out and we didn't have as much businesses, although we do have some now. It was just saying, why are you telling me where to go? How come I cannot just, like, if I need to go to the bathroom, why do I have to go way across town to do that shit? You know? Or if I want to just eat anywhere. I mean, like, it's just, why would you, I mean, all that restriction. Don't tell me where to fucking go, man. I want to go where the fuck I want to go. I'm not hurting you. You know? Black autonomy basically is freedom. I'm not saying, you know, freedom to just do whatever the hell you want in the negative sense, but just basic human rights. Yeah, and you know what? To be honest, even though those guys date outside, and I don't even trip off of that, dude. I'm like this. If you respect that person and they respect you, fine. And those guys, I'll say this too. They did a lot for the black community, even though they could have left if they wanted to. There's a lot of actors and actresses that have, but people want to shit on them. They want to just judge them by that. And I know people don't agree with that. My thing is this: show me your work, dude. I don't care. You know, you do what you do. Show me your work. You know, let's see how that translates in the long run. A lot of us judge each other too harshly, and I understand why. Because we've been through so much to the point where we can't even trust each other. And so now everything is suspect. It's something that I mean, should we even have this conversation? I don't know. It's a heavy thing, man, to think about. And I understand the anger behind all that. Trust me. But it's like, okay, if he's doing the work and that work is being passed on for empowerment for the next, fine. That's cool. You know, there's an interview if you guys get a chance. Angel Ramirez Jordan actually posted it. And it had Lena Horne. Um, who else was on that? Oh my gosh. Nina Simone was on there and a few other cats. It was a great interview. And she talked about basically, you guys should just check it out, man. Um, I think, was Angela on there? I'll have to find it and just give a link to it. You know, she was talking about like how, yeah, I mean, they talk about everything from interracial dating to all that stuff, even back then, you know. Heavy stuff, man. Man, it's all quiet now, so. Um, anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get my roll on. I will talk to you later. Or Whoever's here, one of y'all is here. Yeah. No, you don't have to. And that's the thing. I don't think the civil rights was all kumbaya. It wasn't. A lot of blood got spilled in the civil rights. And not just our blood, trust me. There's the civil rights weren't just about peaceful protest. It was a there's people that were busting back. You know, Robert F. Franklin could tell you that. People weren't just I mean, the deacons of defense can tell you that as well. There's some people that were not all about that, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and let people sick dogs. No, people were defending themselves too. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that cool, you want to critique that. Let's see what we could do better to build up. But I'm not gonna totally shit on it. I'm not gonna totally shit on the civil rights movement because that in itself was a lot of different things. You know, it's like a lot of us will say what we would do back then. I don't know what I would do back then. I know what I need to be doing now. You know, and some of it I am doing, but that's personal. August is the only person in the room. But no, do you get what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. Even if you disagree with me, let me know if you understand what I mean by that. So I'm like moving stuff and making noises. Am I the only one in the room? No, no, just kidding. No, I understand, and I'm not saying that I agree with everything that they made, but at the same time, I do respect a lot of the things that they were doing. I don't think that I don't think it's fair to just write off a whole movement, you know, and to say that they didn't do anything. That would be the furthest from the truth. You know, a lot of people do that, and I don't think it's fair. Like it's just not fair. It's just as bad as saying like what Kanye is now apologizing for, that slavery was a choice. No, it wasn't. They did what they thought was right at the time, but at the same time, what they did was try to gain freedoms that we didn't have. You know, I do think that New Possibilities even broke that down. When it came to that, you know, and no, it wasn't just about interracial sex. That's a personal thing to me. I'm not even gonna go there. But it was about having things um, like school and all that. But what we should have been doing was empowering ourselves. A lot of people will say, well, it's all about integrating into society as well. And I understand why certain people are not for that. But I don't praise segregation either. I'm not a segregationist. I'm an autonomous. What are we going to do? Because the thing is, we don't want to be xenophobic. One of the Panthers was even talking about that, to the point where our kids go out into the world, not to say that they won't face anything, but to where they won't even know how to communicate. We got to be autonomous in the sense of having a strong community where we are, but know how to communicate in the world. Even to the point of learning that is minuscule as learning another language or whatever, aside from learning our own, you know, history and languages. A lot of black people came down hard on Kanye. I actually felt bad for him. You know why? I mean, you obviously know why they did. Because it was not only insensitive, but he's shitting on all the people that came before us. Even though he might have meant something different by it, you can't just use language like that in front of mixed company, especially. You're giving ammo to devils to use against us, like they always do. And who gives a fuck about what they say? Because they don't know our experience. Yeah, you know. So that's the reason that a lot of people are not weren't cool with what he did, and he should be judged for that. That wasn't right, Kanye. Candace Owens, all of them, and I'll be honest. I'm one of those people that I don't think all conservatives are white supremacists either, as far as black conservatives go, because there's some even on YouTube. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not none of it. I don't trust it. But there's some black conservatives, especially on YouTube, that I actually do admire. You know, Q is one of them. What's his name? What's that dude? Mr. Research. He's listen to that guy, and he's all about black empowerment and everything. You know, T West, even though him and Shirley Husar I really admire because of the work that Shirley is doing in our LA community. She's really down in the hood working with people in the hood in the community like that. I don't like the Trump support. I'll be honest. I and see that's something I could totally disagree with that, but agree with what they're doing in society that is positive for black people. I don't know what T does, but T West has a lot of content that's very has a lot of information. Um, Even though I don't understand why they're Trump supporters, I can't get with that. That's one thing I cannot do. But I could take the baby out of the bathwater. You know, yeah, T West and Shirley Husar, but not information man. Sorry, not the homie information man. What's his Mr. Research? Yeah, I first found out about him on Thought Crimes. Those are my homies too. Sincere and freaking Prince, dude. I love those two. They were actually the first to give me a shout out. I actually called in on their show and they were really admiring like a lot of the things that I do. And I love what they do. So it's like, hey, it's the same for the pastor who spoke at yeah, that who spoke at Mrs. Franklin's funeral, sparking negativity on our people in front of yeah, that pissed me off. That really pissed me off. Some people can go religious, but I am actually a Christian, believe it or not. I I thought that was stupid. That was the dumbest thing ever. Like, first of all, you're going off the subject. That has nothing to do with Aretha Franklin. Second of all, you're airing dirty laundry, and you're also airing it with a twisted narrative that that is just on some propaganda type stuff. Stupid. Yeah, Thought Crimes, those guys are my friends. I love those two, man. They always make me laugh. You know, I need to call in and just say hi again. Occasionally, I'll hit them up on Instagram. Prince Solomon and Sincere Ignorance, you guys are really cool people. I love y'all. Yeah, not good at all. It's like, what were you thinking when you said that? I don't get that. Yeah. Man, August, thank you for even like hanging with me, man. I hope I didn't scare the Nubian. I oh, honey, I'm the queen. Not sorry, I'm not a queen. Not no. I'm the king of typos. I'm the worst typo person. I'm always doing that. Yeah, man. That's some heavy stuff, man. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I'm like, this is ridiculous. They should have let Farrakhan speak, man. I mean, he knew her. I don't care about his religious affiliation. Let him speak. I don't know why they didn't let that man speak. You know? Nah, man, that was a mistake. I meant to call you a queen, but I was thinking two things at the same time and like it crashed into my head. Now I sound like a complete idiot. Ha ha. Me and my yeah, I typo with words. You know who cracks me up when he always bags on cats? And every time he does it, it reminds me of like being in school back in a freaking Tariq, dude. Tariq Nasheed be going old school with his ranks on people, me having me dying laughing. Yeah, I'm obnoxious. Ah, teasing me. It's because I have a beard and bald head and I'm brown and black. Shoot. I got out of the hospital today. I had to get some tests done, and I'm afraid to take these stickers off, man. Because all the hair on my freaking. I'm like, ow! I have to wash them off or something. Oh, man. Who was this clown? It's Cerdo, like, in back of me with a damn light. Oh, man. So, August. Is August your real name, or were you born in August? Oh, yeah, Tariq be having me dying laughing, man. He be bagging on people bad, man. Like, I couldn't. I just watched the dozens with him. I couldn't. I could not. I could not be like, man. I ain't trying to go against him in the dozens, man. He got it on point, dude. What about that? One thing that he had me cracking up. He had a bunch of things had me cracking up, but that he kept replaying that Roland Martin doing that jig in front of Hillary Clinton. He's like, I dance, I dance, I dance, I dance. The banjo playing. Oh, my friend. When was your birthday? My mom and sister were born in August too. Happy late birthday. Oh my lord. What did you do for your birthday, August? Oh wow, so you just had it. Happy late birthday. Would you tell us your age? Would you get I know I'm not supposed to ask a female her age. Ouch. These things hurt. Ah, ouch. There we go. Ow. Had stickers on me, man. I had to go get to the hospital earlier. I was in the hospital all night. Yeah, I'm in November. I'm November 1st. Right after Halloween. Shoot. Yeah, I know. I won't say it. I won't ask no more. I can't believe I'm going to be 44. Everyone's like, you don't look 44. I'm like, oh, I'm dealing with 44 issues. I'm proud of my age, though, you know. They're like, why are you talking like that? I don't know. Hey, man, why are you doing like this? You know, people think I'm going out of my mind because they talk like this. Me Jamaican accent is fake an accent, you know. Then, of course, you got to have the UK accent. It's like, why are you talking like this for no reason, right? I don't know. Someone's going to be blowing me horn. I'm a vampire. That's why I don't look 44. Just kidding. How old did you think I was? Plus, it doesn't help that my voice is not as manly as some of the cats on here. What's, which one was good? Tell me my accent. It's like, why is he talking like this? I don't know. Yeah, block, you know why you talk like this? It's crazy people like that. The Jamaicans looking at me like I'm crazy, giving me a screw face like that, you know. Oh, thanks. Yarid, you have to go get some injera. That's my Ethiopian accent. Ethiopian grandmas, they'll make sure that you eat. You need to go in there and get something to eat right now. I'm shy. Get him some injera. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my voice. I'm clowning right now for sure. I'll do accents because I think they're funny. Man, I did this. I don't know if you saw the last video, August. I think people might be scared to watch it. It's about the sexual revolution. Oh, thank you. I was hoping, man. Like, I really hope that they're good. There's one of my favorite shows that I used to watch, and of course, I listen to a bunch of cats be interviewed from, a bunch of rock stars or whatever. But there's a show. It's like a Black British show called Desmond's. It was one of my favorite shows. I used to watch that all the time and crack up. All the accents were pretty interesting on there too. Man. But yeah, that sexual devolution, that's pretty messed up. Like I wish more people would watch that because they need to know what the history is behind that stuff, man. And it took me a while to get that video on. I'm working on a longer video about basically Nazis and the occult, and how that pretty much was a big deal within the Third Reich and all National Socialists. I don't care what they tell you. Um, Hitler Youth or whatever, they're all like, I mean, that stuff is rooted in that occult stuff. Oh, brother. Let's go get something to eat. What time is it right now? I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty. My homegirl, like, my friend Frida and I were talking about this on online today, and she knew about what was going on. She's all, that motherfucker needs to be dragged through the fire. Shoot, because he. It's weird how they, it's funny. They'll go after Cosby and breach the statute of limitations with all that stuff, but yet you can't go after Alfred Kinsey's files that have abused people and all that. I don't get that. I don't get it. Same thing with the whole Les Moonfest thing. Really? Let's see if they're gonna put that Asia Argento chick in jail. But yeah, you can't get these files from Alfred Kinsey, that perverted pig. Yeah, that's the father of the sexual revolution. Devolution. Yeah, it was a racist sham because anybody else that's done that, no one's in jail. Hmm. You wonder if they're gonna even let Harvey Weinstein walk. Yeah, I need to get around to doing that. I know that Nazi one's gonna be long, and I started it when that kid with the patches shot up that school. But I have a lot of stuff that I want to. I need. It's gonna take a long time because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna structure it. Yeah, I'm hating all this injustice stuff. It's like if you, it's just wrong. They both should be in jail, man. Man, August, there was something that I wanted to ask you and I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh, that I wanted to hit you up on the message thing about, but I forgot what it was. It's kicking me in the head. Oh, I think I mentioned it to you in the room, but I forgot what it was. It's kicking me in the head, man. Yeah, he was singled out, and I think definitely it was racial. Of course, that Constance person was lying. How could somebody assault you and you go back, keep going back and kicking it with him? That's lame. Man, I'm gonna get my roll on like deodorant. Thank you for kicking it with me, man. That's so cool. Man, I am so glad. Like, I'll probably see you in another chat. Seems like you're the moderator for a lot of them. So I'm gonna get my roll on. Good night, my friend. Ouch. Oh, which message about you being hella cool? God bless you in Black Power, Black Autonomy, and Black Conglomerate. Peace. Exieber yer barkish. That means God bless you in Amharenya. Or actually in Giz. Peace.